Welcome back, everyone, to Aether Eternius, Dark Side of the Foundry. It's been a while. Summer has been not great to several of us, but just happy. Where we last left off, you guys had begun, or returned to your investigation in full. Rose had come up with an interesting idea of using divination magic, I believe was right? Some sort of divination spell, if I remember correctly, yes? To try to divine or at least discern a bit more clues to the monarch's murder. However, as they would learn, is that they would need to get permission to utilize said spell from both the queen and also the lead of the investigation, Adelbrack. Um, they did some questioning of the queen, learned a bit more about what happened potentially to Flix, all before it sort of boiled over as they met Adelbrack. We learned that Flix not only died by the hands of the Mad Lord, but it seems that there's a bit more to what had happened to them previously, including what Adelbach explained as the theft of their name. After this revelation, they had tried to return to the investigation at hand, and they actually were able to find their way into the old unkept gardens with thanks to a bit of investigation work from both various Rose. Various noting the draft that led to the fireplace, and Rose finding a lever that opened up a secret passageway. They found that the garden was decrepit, underkept. No one's been back there for a while, and they didn't really find any other way inside outside of the tunnel that they had found. However, with some keen eyes, Rose was able to find a way down below through the old abandoned fountain. It is there that the party found themselves at what seemed to be an old catacombs of the royal palace. Adelbach did not follow them as they're not one for combat and they weren't sure what lay down below, leaving the group to go on ahead of them in search for further clues. Now, inside of said catacombs, they found not only skeletons and chains and an old crypt, but some of those bodies were still quite up and kicking. They have managed to subdue and destroy several of the skeletons at this point, but are now still deep within the crypts, and oddly things have fallen eerily silent compared to what it was previously. I'll say this right now, you guys are now out of turn order. You no longer have to act in turn order, and you are free to explore the crypt.
You into the corner.
This aberration thing kind of slithers and slunks over into the corner at your command, Tiberius.
Tiberius is going to tell it that it's not supposed to be seen or heard.
It kind of will stare at you with its myriad of eyes before kind of trailing up the wall to the ceiling before looking back at you.
Blink with the middle eye if you understand.
And it starts to kind of clamber up the wall.
Good enough.
And it is under your control, so you should be able to move it around.
Yep.
Like, so you kind of see Tiberius come back from the corner.
Everything okay?
Perfectly fine. Just a stray that I found that now seems to idolize me.
You were having a chat in the corner with something that was not there before.
Yes.
Aha.
Probably one of my father's pets that he sent to watch over me.
Aha.
That doesn't make it sound any better.
I see. Not quite sure how to feel about that, but I see.
As you should be able to catch up with the group now, if you want to. The tomb itself, after you've destroyed the last skeleton, seems to have become eerily much more quiet. Tiberius, as you kind of move back over to the group and then back over to Flix, you catch a glimmer of something out of the corner of your eye, in about this direction.
Flix, there seems to be something over there. You should go take a look at that. Right there.
And as you kind of walk over there, Flix, the room does open up a bit more. You don't quite see the glimmer Tiberius was talking about, but you do see another room, or at least an entry to the other room there. Tiberius, though, as you kind of walk up behind Flix, the glimmer is almost a shimmering dew-like quality in the way it looks, and it seems to string over the air.
There seems to be some kind of, I don't know, arcane spiderweb before you, Flix. Do you not see that?
No.
Nope.
Well, leave it to a Vermont then, of course. Magic always falls to us.
At best, Flix, what you can see in front of you is pretty much the exact same as the rest of the catacombs. You see like little cubbies that have like crypts and stuff like that in it. There's some maybe burnt out candles and bowls full of offerings that are brought away. The usual fare.
Okay. Well, this looks like path, so we should follow it.
Tiberius is going to do Dispel Magic to see if it affects the webbing in any way.
Dispel magic.
Sure, yeah. What is the range of it, and what is the radius, you would say?
Range is 120 feet.
Does it have a radius, or...
One creature, object, or magical effect within range, so the web.
Okay. And, yeah, you go ahead and you cast, Dispel Magic, and the web's glimmer almost fades. The webs are still sort of there, but it's almost as if you removed whatever was coating them away. And as the dew fades away, the webs also fade from your vision.
There we are. Simple magic, simple fix. You can proceed, though we should probably get the others.
While the two of them are off, Rose does come back around the corner and we'll see Various and also Flix, I'm assuming, catching up then.
Mm-hmm.
Either you wouldn't happen to have any lockpicks, would you?
Lockpicks.
There's a box in this room here. Then I tried to fiddle it open, but I didn't have much luck with it.
Just checking Sealy.
Me too.
Yeah. If you guys got lockpicks or a means to unlock it, go for it. Or if you have another idea that you want to try, go nuts.
Magic. Missile. No, I'm joking.
You also go the Gordon Freeman route of just using something as a crowbar.
No, I don't even have that. And Crunch isn't here to break the box.
Aw. No crunch.
I have a possibility, but I'd like to check it first. If it comes out clear, then it might be as simple as breaking it open.
Go right ahead. I did take a look, and it didn't appear to be trapped.
Yeah,
Not
Go ahead.
Not every trap is visible.
And the box before you seems rather mundane enough, Darius, but there is a bit of a trim to the box. You can tell it's been jostled a little bit, probably from Roast looking it over previously.
So he's gonna start focusing on pulling magic together and
Okay. So I would have you roll, I think, an Arcana check.
well, I just did detect magic, so
That works too. My thing is not updating. Thanks, game. Okay.
Oh,
I had to scroll mine.
Yeah, mine took a moment. I'm like, okay, I see the spell magic. Are you just gonna... Oh, there it is. Okay, never mind. And, Various, you kind of pull your magic together and kind of pull it around his chest. And for a brief moment, you do indeed feel as if there is some sort of magic around the chest, but it appears as webs that are kind of on the top of the box and attached to the walls. They sort of shimmer with a strange dew-like quality on them, but you can definitely tell that there is some magic.
Okay.
And I would say you could probably get an idea of the School of Magic is evocation.
Oh, great. And this is in this room?
Yes. And especially as you kind of look up the walls and stuff, you can see that there are more webs coating the ceiling.
And is it centered on... Is there anything on the box?
They are actually attached to the lid and the hinges of the box.
Back up, Rose.
Alright.
Going to look out here at the walls and the ceiling.
And they are almost, like funnel web spider kind of webs, how they kind of coat the walls and everything?
Yeah.
That's sort of what it looks like, and it all is attached to that chest, like as a center point. But oddly, the webs don't come outside of the room.
Rose,
Yeah.
I want you to go around that corner.
Very well.
Take out your little blast shield.
It's like, okay. I'm gonna just, do this from outside the room around the corner.
Okay.
It'll
Oh boy.
magic
Yeah.
missile at the lock of the box.
So what I
Yeah.
understand is Various the dentist, when you're sitting in the chair and it's like, put this lead thing on, but we take x-rays. We're gonna run to the other room to do it. You'll be fine.
That's basically, yeah. And I would say Go ahead.
Isn't he doing the opposite where he's telling Rose, okay, just get out of the danger zone and we're gonna try this?
See, I thought he was putting Rose into the danger zone.
No, no.
Oh no!
No, that would be
no, that's-
Tiberius.
Yeah, I was about to say that's Tiberius.
Yeah, that's more Tiberius' thing. It's like, stay here, I want to see what happens.
Don't stand right in front of me. I'm going to aim my arm from around you and fire at the lock. Any residual explosion will strike you and not me.
And Various, as you fire this magic missile, it slams into the lock, and it's exactly what you were expecting. You just see the tendrils of this magic web just suddenly ignite, coming from the box and just filling the room. Just this blazing inferno just ignites into this huge room, and just a big blast of heat comes sort of out of that hallway.
Wouldn't that have healed Rose?
Technically, yeah, it would have, yeah.
Good question.
But it's just
Why
literally a
have we
big.
never made that joke before?
I'm
Rose!
surprised.
Roasted!
But yeah, it's basically, if you've ever seen the movie Backdraft, just goes whoom, this entire room is just suddenly alit with a sudden bout of fire. But as soon as it starts, it fizzles away. And I believe your detect magic lasts up to 10 minutes. Yeah. And as the fire dies down, as this big burst comes forth, the webs that you've seen have burnt away. The chest is still there, it's just a little toasty though. It looks like a little bit of the metal of the hinges have melted a little bit. It's a little charred. But yeah.
It should be safe now.
It should be safe. Sorry.
Various looks back and is like, it should be safe now.
And Rose, you definitely felt that wave of heat.
The safest.
Oh, whatever you did seems to have worked. And Rose will go up and see if they can let the chest lid open with their foot.
Do watch out for the... he's gonna wait until Rose starts to lift a lid. Do watch out for the ice, though.
What?
Boom!
Well played, Barry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Various.
Various just covers his mouth for a moment, but may or may not be smirking for just waving a hand. Nothing.
Very
Mhm.
funny.
I think the pressure's gotten to him. He's begun to crack.
But as you begin to open the chest, and the lock itself has been melted off, blasted to smithereens because of the magic missile in it. Creaks open without too much of an issue, but you're pretty sure that those hinges have kind of yeah, there's no closing this thing again, but you're able to open it. Inside, however, you see several bits of cloth as well as what looks to be bones wrapped up in said cloth.
Did we just open a coffin?
No.
I don't like the way you said no.
Makeshift. It's a makeshift coffin.
Yeah, it's a real coffin. It's one of them fake coffins.
So do you want to go through the box itself? Because that's just the top layer. There's more under it because the box is actually quite deep.
Yeah, Rose is going to carefully, like, kind of peel the cloth back. They're trying not to touch the bones as they do so.
As you peel the cloth back, the bones seem to be carved rather than just something someone stuck in here from like a funeral or something, as well as what looks to be bone white dice fall out of the cloth along with them. There are sets of cups, and inside those cups, however, seem to be a decent amount of what looks to be gold, and under the cloth itself is 3 superior healing potions.
Oh my god, we found a voodoo man's coffin.
God damn it.
Well, that certainly makes it worth it, and Rose will show the potions over to Various.
Yes, it is. You got it right.
I'm writing down the loot in chat real quick. And you got a playset for Knucklebones, 3 superior healing potions,
With real bones.
and a total of 50 gold pieces.
Rose will, for now, is going to pocket the Knucklebone set. But we'll take one of the potions and we'll pass the gold pieces and the 2 other potions over to Various.
So yeah, you actually kind of take hold of these potions, various, and these are very well made. You can tell with how the intricate gold around the bottles themselves seem to coil around it to go to the top cork, and the inside liquid looks to be shimmering. So I have a feeling someone squirreled those away and trapped it for a rainy day, probably.
Thank you.
Just right. What did you do to this room exactly?
There was a trap. And I set it off while you were safely outside of it.
What kind of trap?
I wasn't able to tell immediately what it would be before I set it off, but it was fire.
Fire, fire.
Perhaps that is fine for you, but it could have just as easily been ice, water, lightning, acid.
Right. I mean, was it like mechanical or arcane?
Arcane.
It was McCain.
Good to know. Good to know.
It was as if there were threads, like the small spiders make.
Spiders?
Oh, great.
You're over there.
There's spiders!
Well,
Spiders are bad.
considering who we're trying to find out here, that lines up. You might want to keep an eye out for anything else like that.
Wait, what are we trying to find out here?
The court magician.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was asking my brother about getting pizza after we're done. But, Freya, you hear some sort of eruption behind you. It's like a big whoosh sound.
There was no screaming. Everything's okay.
I'd say it definitely is. Since you guys are in close enough quarters, Tiberius and Flex would easily probably would have heard that.
I'm not going to do that.
Close enough to help, but far enough away to not be part of the danger.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts was the explosion, roughly?
From behind you, kind of in this area. Yeah.
No, not going to that. No, that's a bad plan.
Are the others okay?
You see Rose kind of coming around the corner.
Yeah, sorry for the hold up.
Smell Hassenpfeffer. Hassenpfeffer.
It's a few little singed hairs.
I'm taking it that was either Rose or Various' doing that.
Serious?
Are you gonna take credit for it? For blaming on Rose?
I'd say they looked none a little bit worse for wear, but might be a little bit of a smoky smell around Darius. A little bit.
Does Various look harmed at all?
No, he looks perfectly fine. Just smells a little smoky.
Does he look emotionally harmed at all?
God damn it.
He always looks emotionally harmed.
I run up and hug him.
Oh,
Hey, little bun.
I'm not little bun.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Oh.
I'm Tiberius.
That isn't me.
I swear. Even though who looks like they could use a hug.
Grace, agree.
The other little bun.
You mean Angry Bun?
Like this, yes. Oh, look! The angry bun was able to remove magical traps from ahead of us. Perhaps we should continue going this way in order to get out of this place and find that useless stage magician you call the court magician, so we can ask him the questions that we need to ask so we can get out of this place.
Put me down.
You said you found a magical trap. It didn't happen to be made of spider webs, did it?
Why, yes, I can see them quite easily. Can't you?
Not at the
Spider web,
moment.
and I drop Various.
No, poor Various.
No.
Oh, okay. Onto the ground.
I never agreed to fight spiders.
You
They're
haven't
Sad
icky
seen any
and gross
spiders.
and gross.
I mean, you haven't seen any spiders yet.
Sad ethereal noises.
He's not here.
Oh.
He
Right.
started off as a coward. Spiders are definitely something he's afraid of.
Oh.
So, without further ado, Rose, Flix, to the front, and that way. I'll warn you if one of those webs gets in your way or will explode or otherwise harm you, but I suggest you not go too quickly, as I will be meandering behind.
Has anyone checked the location to the left?
Not I.
That's fine. No? You guys haven't checked that yet.
Tiberius, did you check it?
I'm not putting my head in there. I'd lose my ears. Probably some guillotine would come down and lop them off.
Badoop, badoop,
You're not
badoop.
laughable.
There's a
My
kind
ears
of
are
around,
compilation, thank you.
it's around the corner for us. It seems to be a rather empty room until you kind of get to about here, I'd say. Then you can see that this wall over here is covered with, shackles and chains that are usually meant for tying up prisoners. They're empty.
It's the fun room.
No bones?
Wait a second.
I don't see any bones there, no.
More sad ethereal noises.
Oh.
Well, there wasn't... Well, unless we plan on tying someone up, there's nothing in that room.
Or you already dealt with them.
So, as I was saying, step forth. Oh, great damage-soaking individuals.
Oh, pip pip.
I
Good
love
job,
it.
too.
I'm speaking to you, Flix. You're one of the...
There is a pathway up ahead of you. You haven't heard anything else, I will say that much. It's rather quiet.
Rose will peer down. Before moving down there, Rose is going to take a closer look and see if they discern any movement or anything.
I'd say no. It's what you see ahead of you is you notice that the candle lights that are kind of in the walls and the sconces start to taper off around here. So these hallways are much darker. But you don't see any movement. I won't need you to roll for that because there doesn't seem to be anything there.
See, when the GM says doesn't seem...
Is it getting darker or?
It's getting darker, yes. Like the further you go in, there is less and less candlelight.
Pushes
right.
up glasses. I have dark
Question.
vision.
Are positive primordials light primordials?
I mean, essentially, yeah. Rose lets off a little bit of light, and I'd say you also let off a little bit of light.
Which is fine.
I'm wondering if I'm glowing.
I probably would say around the 5 feet area around both of you probably has a soft glow. Rosa's kind of an orangey glow, while you have kind of a glittering white glow
Don't
or golden glow
Cobalt glow,
Oh.
yes.
with a little bit of like sparkles here and there. You know,
Yeah, for good measure. Come on.
So what,
Exactly.
you confetti glow?
Of course.
Disco ball.
It's disco ball.
You don't need that book of glitter anymore. You literally are made of glitter now.
No, I need that book of glitter. I have plans for it.
Don't burn it, please.
Never.
Damn it.
where did you guys leave that? You left that at home, I think. Did you?
I think it's on my person at all times, actually.
Oh, there you go.
In your person at
If-
this point.
Yeah, it's in my person at this point.
Okay, good.
If we had left it at home, I would have imagined us coming back to the house being full of glitter, and those two angels just standing outside with the pets. Like, we just were looking for something to read. Then we opened this book and
How do you close it? What, you left it open? Oh no.
why do you think we're out here?
It's just
Open the
inside
door
of
and just
Rose's-
starts filling out.
Yeah, just the inside of
If-
Rose is nothing but sparkle.
If,
opened their mouth
Rose, if while we're here Rose sneezes and there's just glitter, then we know what happened.
Don't tempt me.
Amazing.
Anyway, but you don't see any movement, Rose.
Alright. Let's go, Flix.
Yes, please. The two of you, up front.
Aha!
Yeah, you could just
Very
say that
flying
word. You can just say that word of meat sacks. That would be more dignified.
But you're not made of meat.
Yeah, we're not made of meat. I'm made of positive energy
And glitter.
and glitter.
You're probably the only one in here who has any kind of positiveness with them. Can we please continue going?
And indeed, you kind of come to what looks to be a 4-way kind of hallway. Once more, it's very quiet, but the distance you can see is much more diminished. It seems to be a set of stairs over there, and 2 hallways. The one up north in particular seems to continue forward as a hallway, while there seems to be a room down this way, as well as a set of stairs over.
Do we go up, down, or up?
Up, down, or up.
There's 2 ups. Move aside for a second, as long as nothing has exploded to kill you. It's safe for me to go there. And
There's 2 ups.
Tiberius is going to pop his head between the 2, look around for any glittery spider webs.
They there seemed to be nothing in the north and south halls that you can see immediately, Tiberius. There does seem to be some glimmering coming up the stairs, though.
Seems to be no traps to these two corridors, but the stairs over there seems to have some kind of something there. I suggest checking those rooms first, and if we do not find our wayward sorcerer, we go up the stairs. And by we, I mean you two first.
Radio.
This room seems a little bit more well lit. You see along the walls, Rose, that there are more little cubbies holding crypt coffins. More importantly, there seems to be a skeleton, but it's slumped on the ground in a heap. Something doesn't look right about it. Not like something that was collapsed or fallen over, but you can swear that it might still have some meat on it.
Yeah, we're gonna take a 5-foot step back, and Rose is gonna look behind to Flix then. Flix, can you come up here then? I think things are gonna get loud. Things are about to get loud here.
Oh, it's one of those skeletons again.
You can kind of see past Rose. This one is crumpled onto the ground. This one's a bit more intact than the other skeleton, so there still seems to be some, albeit rotting, sinew between several of the joints.
I'm gonna peg it. Just be ready for the worst. All right.
Okay. I'm ready, and I'll buckle down my shield. My shield up.
Rose is going to shoot a firebolt at the skelly.
Okay, you shoot a firebolt at it. Nothing. It hits the body, it tumbles a little bit, probably knock a few bone chips off of it, but nothing.
Huh.
Is it all right in there? Why did you fire a little piece of yourself into the room, Rose?
Skeletons!
Just to be safe, I still don't like the feeling of this, but Rose is going to carefully walk towards the center of the room.
Okay. You walk to the center of the room.
You got this, Rose.
Nothing happens. You can see that there is indeed another little room over here, little hallway that seems to be pretty open, but can you give me a perception, please? As you kind of reach the center of the room.
Perception.
You don't see the giant vampire spider above you.
It
I
reeks
don't see it.
of rot and decay down. Compared to the other halls, which are a bit more subdued, probably because they have incense and stuff burning, this just straight up smells like rotting corpse.
I think the remains down here are a little fresher than the other rooms. Rose is going to move away from that skeleton. Check over here.
And, this room doesn't smell as bad. There are bones against the corners, but more importantly, there seems to be a box kind of situated in the center, give or take.
What's in the box, Jokey?
But more importantly, around said box are several skeletal hands. Just the hands.
Tiberius, I need your eyes front and center.
Very well, very well.
Use your special eyes, boo.
Why does it smell so horrible in here? And he's going to prestidigitation a tiny evergreen pine tree and just hang around his neck for the smell.
That's valid.
What do you want? Oh.
There are bones covering the ground in this, but more importantly, there is a box kind of in the center of the room, Tiberius. Rose, you just see skeletal hands. It's kind of flopped around and on top of the box. Tiberius, however, you see something much different. These hands are connected to ghostly apparitions that are part of the way in the ground. And they're looking at you with hollow, dead eyes.
There's definitely something in here, Rose. Very good getting my attention on this. I am the expert on these things. And he's going to just slowly rub his muzzle. Shoo! Shoo! Go away!
They're just staring at you.
Alright, they don't listen to commands.
I think you're nuts.
Right. Well, let's try the oldest trick in the book. It's probably just some kind of scary spell that does nothing other than maybe pulls at your fur or kicks you in the crotch. Aiming at the creatures. Goes the apparition.
Yeah. And it's a very simple spell, and as you kind of give a twist of your hand, the figures vanish. You can at least gather that it was basically just an illusion spell. Considering nothing really moves once it's dispelled. There are still bones all over the place, sure, but the strange apparitions that were staring at you are gone.
Rose, usually I'd tell you to go in first, but at the moment I have a better idea. Oh, Wriggles!
And as you see this thing just clamber along the ceiling, Rose, you just hear this slurping sound as you see this massive eyes just pass over you.
Wriggles, be a dear and check out the room, ensure that Rose here won't get injured or horribly maimed.
Kind of, do you command it to stay on the ceiling, or do you want it to get down?
I want it to go on the ground, and it's probably going to eat most of the bones, I'm not going to lie. He's kind of expecting the bones to disappear.
It kind of pulls itself down from the ceiling, and as it makes its way to the chest, it's just absorbing the bones into its body.
Should have called it Kirby.
Kind of like a skeleton, like a goopy Roomba.
It's an Eldritch Roomba!
It's an Eldritch Roomba. And it kind of just sucks them up. It doesn't really eat the bones, but they're kind of sticking out here or there in it as it kind of goes up to the chest.
Excellent, Wriggles. Back to the ceiling.
Kind of goes up here, goes back up onto the ceiling. It kind of leaves just a trail of semi-clean floor now behind it.
There you go, Rose. Now you may proceed into the room following Wriggles' wonderful trail of cleaned up debris.
I'm not even surprised anymore.
Is he like those things from Dark Souls?
Yeah. So you kind of get up to the chest, Rose, and what do you want to do to it?
First of all, Rose is gonna make sure that there's nothing funny about the inside of that lock. And investigate it.
I'd say it looks about the same as the one you saw prior.
Okay, in that case, gonna try to open it.
And it opens with a surprisingly easy click. Just opens. Inside, you see a lot of different jars. There's all manner of things inside of them, from preserved eyeballs to lizard limbs and kind of just general stuff that you would probably find in an apothecary shop. But you kind of push several of the jars to the side, hoping that none of them are leaking. Definitely smells like one of them is. It smells like embalming fluid and just nastiness. You're able to find what looks to be some sort of coin on the bottom of it. It's about this, surprisingly, it's not the size of a gold coin. It's about, I would say, the size of your palm. Like, it fits snugly in the palm of your hand. It's a dull, almost brass-like color with a lion's head on one side and the back end of a lion on the other.
Is there a body of some kind of spidery magician in there?
No, just this really big coin.
Tiberius is just going to shake his head and head back the other way.
Tibbs.
Hmm?
Rose will hold up the coin. Does this look any strange in your eyes?
Tiberius is going to squint at the coin with his magic eyes of now abyssal black.
So Tiberius, as you look at strange
Tim's and
wine,
his magic eyes.
it's not so much your magic eyes, but it looks to be a medallion. This medallion is familiar to you. As you kind of look over the surface of it, it's not so much a lion's head. Well, it is sort of, but it almost looks more like a maned rabbit. That is a crest symbol, from what you can discern, from a rival house on Gardania.
Oh.
What's it doing here?
Goody.
Rose, could I have a closer look at that? I swear I've seen that particular symbol before. Couldn't possibly be here for any reason.
How is it familiar to you?
Oh, my family has the Vermont crest, and there's the cotton tufts, and that one seems to be from another house of the very powerful from where I'm from. And if that's here, that either means that an individual was murdered and that symbol was taken. Perhaps they weren't exactly a full-blood Hopolition after all.
Kinda like
Mhm.
you.
You're not there. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Just a moment.
Kinda like you!
Oh.
Yes. Right.
Just a moment. Various
Hmm.
and Rose will also show the medallion to Various as well. I'm guessing you may have familiarity with this as well.
I would say that Various, as you kind of look over it, it feels familiar. It's definitely got the make of some sort of noble house in Gardania.
Could I
But-
potentially use history?
You could. Wow, alright.
Damn!
Ooh.
As you kind of look over this symbol,
Fairies came to remember.
it's definitely a familiar crest, but it's not familiar in the case of something recent. This medallion is old. This is from one of the old original houses. Someone that came before all the current sets of noble houses, probably even a progenitor of another house. Tiberius would at least understand that as well, but at the same time, would he have paid attention to it? I'm curious.
No.
It would be known as, I would say, well, since this is an older house, we're going to come up with a name for it. What would you guys like to name this old house?
It's probably an Opposition house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Obviously the
Yes.
Oppositions.
Definitely.
So it's probably a Roman name,
Mm-hmm.
or Latin, I guess.
Leonidas. House Leonidas.
There we go,
There we
Leonidas.
go, Leonidas. That would explain the
It's a
rabbit-like
maned
lion.
rabbit.
It's a maned rabbit. And Various, as you're kind of looking over this, you remember back to several history lessons. You've read a lot of history books, magical and non, and you remember reading about a very old house known as House Leonidas. This was a progenitor for several of the current Hopolition houses to the present day. They were known for having a bizarre connection to magic that seemed uncanny for most Hopolitions. But at the same time, you remember in your history books, that also proved to be their undoing. More so, Tiberius, as you begin to also stare at the medallion too, there is a strange hint of magic to it.
Various is going to reach out and take the medallion.
Mhm.
If
It feels cold, really cold.
Careful with that. There's still some magical residue on it. It could be a spell, it could be a curse, it could be quite a number of things.
I think Tiberius has a point here. Does
Yes, you Tiberius, and that's the last we should speak of this.
this is
I know, it seems kind of important.
is important, but as someone who was formerly cursed, then perhaps we should take a closer look once we get topside then before we start doing any funny things with it.
Is there anything else in the chest? Just a medallion from a house that has...
Just a
Understand.
bunch of preserved body parts of animals.
Of... What?
Oh. You,
Various, were you good with anatomy? I mean, I was good with anatomy, but not in the same sense
I'm
as...
going to go and look if you're... Is Wiggles on the ceiling or on the floor?
That's a good question. Where is Wiggles?
Right above Various, just for fun.
For funsies.
The chest is indeed open. You see the same scene. There is definitely a trail of cleaned up bones, obviously, but yeah, you get to the chest. It is open. I don't think Rose closed it. Inside are several jars. There is the smell of like that really heavy medicinal embalming fluid. You guess that probably one of them may have leaked. But indeed, there are several jars of what looks to be preserved eyeballs, strange limbs, and all manner of weirdness.
So Lopolite stuff.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So some background information. Lopolites are sort of Hopolitions and Lopolites sort of split off from each other. Hopolitions are big evocation people. Lopolites are really into necromancy and medicine.
Metamancy.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Various is going to take a close look at these things.
What?
Mom just set off all the same notification. Clean the cat box. Clean the cat box. Clean the cat box.
Okay.
I already know.
Sorry.
Everything okay?
Yeah, our mom decided to, for some reason, set up the Alexa while they're on vacation.
Oh.
Like, why? Anyway. But, yeah, that's basically what you found in there, Various.
Is body parts.
Lots of body parts!
Gardanian body parts.
Yeah. And they
Gross.
don't look to... I will say that they don't look to be adult body parts, either.
Oh my god.
That sounds Lopolition.
It really does.
Yeah, Various.
They're the bad bunnies.
Very bad
Everybody's bad bunnies.
Not the
Lictarians?
Libertarians. They are good and holy bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
They're monstrous. And he tells no lies.
Uh-huh.
And not
Anyway.
lies at all.
Anyway.
Gross. These are not animal body parts.
If they're not... And you just get this look on Rose as the realization sinks in. It's like, oh, jeez, I'm sorry, Various, I didn't realize.
That's fine. If we had swapped places and I saw humanoid body parts, I probably would have thought it was some sort of monstrosity. The hairless thing is a little bit uncomfortable. And he's going to shut the lid. And
Right.
he's just going to walk back to the other room.
Right, back to business.
Where Fria's?
Where is
hallway.
Fria's?
Sorry. The moment you say her name, she walks into the room. I was just keeping watch behind us.
Whenever Frias is not on screen, everyone should be asking, where's Frias?
On the ceiling as a spider watching you.
God damn it, every time.
Right, and as that little, as Wiggles kind of clambers along the ceiling up here, they see, it's just a pile of these skeletal corpses, just strewn all over the place. There are ajar coffins. There's an what looks to be embalming fluid on what looks to be a table over in this corner. But several of the bodies seem to be rather haphazardly passed around with missing limbs. One's missing a skull.
You know what's even worse? That probably wasn't Lopolite. If that crest was Opalition, it's Opalition.
Well, they did both of those.
Yeah, they did all the things. They did all the bad.
So over there's a bunch of wonderful Lopolition monstrosities that have been hacked together and hewn together as some kind of twisted prank against the true power of magic. I suggest we not go that way.
Are they Gardanian?
No.
Close enough.
Oh, so they're rabbits?
You're not close enough to tell what they are.
They couldn't possibly be Gardanian.
So you go to this particular corpse. It seems to be a mishmash of different skeletal bits. The head, you swear, has a beak on it. One of the arms is smaller than the other one. There's a humanoid torso with vertebrae replacing some of the legs. Someone was getting a little too creative in here, potentially.
This looks like some Lopolition that was just starting to figure out how to do that animate thing. And they were very bad at it. Aren't these things supposed to be symmetrical?
Not always.
Well, I don't exactly want to play with that kind of thing. Rose, what's down there?
What is down
Down
here?
here is another room. Once it lets me reveal it, thank you. There is a lone skeleton kind of sitting over here on the floor, and literally sitting cross-legged.
Lonely.
It's just sitting there cross-legged on the floor.
That's not disturbing.
The
That's
rest of the room is surprisingly empty.
peculiar. Just going to go over this way for no reason. Just this skeleton can stay sitting there. That's fine.
Sitting.
Just sitting.
Like hasn't fallen apart?
No, it's completely intact. It's just a skeleton sitting cross-legged on the floor.
Are there any pebbles on the ground?
No. The room is bizarrely clean. Do you look up, though?
I mean, sure. He's looking around. Or it's Tiberius, so immediately roll a 1 on perception.
Yeah, give me a perception, just for the hell of it.
I said roll a 1 on perception. Close enough.
It's a ceiling. It's a ceiling, yep. Ceiling in a bizarrely clean room.
So he's doing the psst noise towards the skeleton.
Doesn't respond.
Hey! Bones!
Nothing.
Alright, well, someone decided to play some kind of prank and put that pile of bones in a seated position. Let's go over and knock it down.
Yeah, do you want to go up and try and knock it down?
Rose will shoot a firebolt at it.
Oh, that's just rude. What if it was sleeping?
Oh my nap.
Rose, you're like, I'll just shoot a firebolt at it and it'll be fine. Just kind of hold your hand out like the little finger guns and fizzle. The spell just fizzles.
Work.
I'm gonna hold back the joke because Various would not make that joke.
That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, stop it!
Rose is going to wander to the skeleton.
Okay.
Is going to pull out their mace and will poke the skull.
Just pokes the skull. Just boop. It slightly tilts to the side as you poke it.
Like
The equivalent of someone tilting a painting.
Oh, just like the bones just shift in place.
Yeah. They seem bizarrely rigid.
It's not animated. You can come in now.
Would you say it's still 10 minutes?
I'd say yeah, still 10 minutes.
Can I roll perception?
Yeah, you can. The ground itself seems mundane enough, and so does the skeleton, but your eyes kind of pull upward. There's something written on the ceiling.
What's written on the ceiling?
It looks to be a runic circle. It's not active, but there is a slight shimmering to it. At the very best, you can probably get an idea that it has to do with transmutation.
Is there anything strange about the skeleton? No, he's asking Rose.
None of us are walking in the room.
I will say, Rose, that since you're over here, the passageway that seems to be over here, it's not on the ground floor. The actual doorway is on the ceiling.
Okay.
Kind of similar to this one. So it's almost like the room's upside down. Keep talking and nobody dies.
Rose, is there anything odd about the skeleton?
Rose is going to take a closer look at the skeleton then?
It's, like I said, it seems really rigid, as if it's almost cemented in place.
It almost looks like it's attached to the ground.
Rose?
Yeah?
Very slowly, and walk along the outside of the room, come back over here.
Right. And Rose will follow the wall. Back to the entryway.
As you get to that point, Rose, I need you to roll me a dex save real quick. Because as you begin to step over the line into the hallway, the room starts to shift to the side.
Oh, goody.
This grinding stone, as you can see, as the rune above activates.
Yep.
I'd say it's a lot like if anyone's ever seen a washing machine tumble. That's essentially at what happens as Rose is taking along with the room as it essentially flips upside down. The rune is now on the floor. The skeleton is now on the ceiling.
What did you do,
now,
Rose?
And the doorway for the room is to get out is now on the ceiling, while these doorways are now on the ground.
Tiberius is going to wait for the room to stop moving in the last thud of Rose. Then 2 seconds go, "Are you all right, Rose?"
What did you do?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good.
They triggered the trap.
What trap?
A very obvious trap. There's a skeleton in the middle of the room seated there. Of course there's a trap. Why do you think I didn't go in?
Why did you tell me it was a trap?
Rose, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not hurt.
What?
Not hurt.
What were you
Just
saying?
took a little tumble.
Well, apparently these other two hallways are reachable then. Maybe I should take a peek down them real quick.
Well, I'm not going to. I could send Wriggles.
That at least ended better than I had been concerned it might. Though, Tiberius,
Mhm.
does this remind you of anything?
Yes, the labyrinth, quite right. Constantly shifting walls, forever turning rooms, ways that you can't escape, though if you get close to it, it just turns itself around and suddenly you find yourself on the edge of a cliff.
Hopefully there isn't any lava.
Or those weird creatures again that tried to devour us.
I'm not sure. They were odd for
He's
certain.
gonna slowly look at Wriggles. Yeah, it was one of them.
So, Rose, as you're kind of sitting there, can you give me a perception check, please?
Okay. Oh.
As everyone's kind of bickering a little bit, you kind of look around the room and you hear something on the very edge of your vision. You hear bubbling. Not water bubbling. This is a bubbling that you've heard many, many times before because it is the sound of lava from where you live. Same sound. And it's coming from directly below you. Here's something I need to do, sorry. But you hear what pretty clearly lava bubbling down below you.
You know what, you were saying about lava? You might be more than money than you think.
Ooh, money.
No, not money. Why you say that? And we're still not entering the room.
I think I better go look. If it's what I think it is, then I'm the most prepared for it.
Oh yes, you're made of fire. Isn't lava technically in your... Do you even have veins?
Alright, I'll be right back. And Rose is going to...
For some reason...
Hmm?
Sorry, Roll20's being a little difficult with me right now.
Oh, the map moved, so...
Yeah, I was trying to readjust something because I just realized this thing's snapping to the grid and I don't want it to snap to the grid, so... Grid real quick. That will let me do this. Thank you. There we go. Sorry.
Oh.
I plan to move the roll to Foundry eventually, but...
Does it... Nova, you're sounding robotic all of a sudden.
Hello? Testing?
I don't sound robotic to...
Oh, you are... Oh, you are too. Hold on. I'm going to...
I think it's on
rejoin-
yours.
Oh no!
Your computer's blowing up.
But he is streaming.
I'm going to try to rejoin the call.
Yeah. He's only slightly on fire and robotic. Robot fire. The best type of fire.
Yeah, you are... What the hell is going on my end here?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, you are all sounding robotic to me right now.
You sound fine to us.
You sound...
I think there must be something going on with your connection.
Do you have anything downloading in the background? Something like a Windows update that kicked in at the last bloody minute?
Do you
Or
have
Steam.
open?
Or
Or Steam, yeah.
Okay, no, Steam's good, and... Okay, now y'all sound good again.
Could have been a hiccup.
Is
Yeah.
there somebody else in your house who might have been downloading something?
No, I wasn't the only one. I don't know. I don't know. Tech
It's
is a
a
weird
ghost
soup.
on your Wi-Fi.
Is a ghost on your Wi-Fi?
What?
Okay, but no, okay, I think it was just a momentary thing. You all sound good again.
Okay.
But Rose is going to...
Sorry, I had to move it.
Mhm.
There we go.
Is gonna go ahead and investigate down this hall.
You see the end of the hallway. What looks to be a stairwell leading down. It's a lot warmer in this hall.
Reyes, I have a question for you while waiting for Rose to come back.
I may have an answer.
Why aren't you doing that thing where you become an arachnid and skitter about quickly to see all the things that could possibly kill us?
Please no.
And then here, Rose
Saying this
is
completely
just...
out of character,
It's gotten-
because a higher power will kill me.
As you walk away from that stairwell leading downward, it does get colder, and this is just a plain hallway. Once again, it's deathly silent in here.
Gonna slowly move down that way.
Currently I only have one more change in me for the day, and I wouldn't want to waste it on just exploring.
Your changes are limited?
It's quite taxing.
You know, something you wouldn't know about.
Excuse me. Dealing with some of you is quite taxing indeed.
I don't know, you've got pretty soft paws there, Tiberius.
That's because I
Roll
walk
20, please.
repeatedly.
Let me reveal the area, please. Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame Rose took the card set. We could have been playing till he got back. Rose, retcon that you took it all.
Rose, you come to what looks to be two little sets of paths. One, there is a large stone door blocking the way, and there is a small room ahead of you.
How long do we give Rose before we go searching for them?
Rose is going to start doubling back.
I didn't hear what you said.
Readiest.
Are you all still up there?
God damn it.
Yeah?
I have it roll 20.
We should have waited a few more seconds before replying. It would have been hilarious. Yes, we're here.
All right. There's one path that has a staircase leading downwards. I'm guessing to some kind of maybe lava chamber, and then there's another one here that leads to a larger door.
A lava chamber? Why would you have a lava chamber?
It's great for disposal.
Well, is there any indication that some stupid large spider humanoid was down that way, Rose? Webs. Discarded wands.
No, nothing like that down this way.
Well, do we want to follow Rose into the tumbly-turly room, or do we want to go and test out one of the other ways?
I mean, tumbly-turly room.
There's lava down one of those rooms, and personally I don't feel like getting incinerated.
Yeah.
Additionally, I'm pretty sure if we die here, we don't become primordials, so I'd prefer not to test that theory either.
Yeah, I would be for checking out the other way in the meantime. Does anyone have a rope on them?
Good question.
Yes, I do. Why, are you looking to come up, or do you need it for something?
Just so I can, get back up to you all.
Because the doorway leading to all of you is now on the ceiling.
What? Are you sure that if you grab this rope and climb it, you won't set off the trap again and get tumbled to another side of the room?
Well, I just came back into this room and it didn't set off again, so I think I'm okay for now.
Right. There. Chris, if you will, please help Rose climb out of the tumbly-turny room.
If you would step aside.
Fine. And Tiberius is going to motion for Varius to show him that medallion. Show it to me.
Various. Well. Ah!
Oh, we have no grid.
Ah! Oh my god, why weren't we on a grid? What happened?
The grid, like I said, Roll20 has been freaking out with this particular map. I don't know why.
Various will slowly pull it out and let Tiberius see, but is keeping a hold of it.
Okay, Tiberius, as you're looking at the medallion, there is some sort of magical veil on it, but you can't quite discern what height. But it does look, feel like old magic, like something that was cast a long time ago, but still clings to the medallion itself.
When we get back to, well, not being in this place, you and I are going to sit down and we're going to try and identify this thing, because it can't possibly be what I think it is, or what you say it is. That makes no sense.
We say that it makes no sense, and yet we have seen how, well, our modern compatriots, not that word. Ugh. Anyway, people have kept the truth away from the rest of us. Who's to say it hasn't been going on for far longer?
Various.
I will say this, Various, as you're holding it, the medallion, the crown feels right in your grasp.
It feels what?
Right. Like it feels good to hold it.
Oh dear. Oh no! The precious.
What was that, Various? You sounded a little golemy.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, while they're while they're doing that, Freya ties the rope around herself and then into the room.
Okay. There is now a rope dangling there for you, Rose.
Yeah, Rose is going to start rappelling up the wall there.
Okay. I'm not going to need much of a check for that, since it's only about like 6 or so foot climb.
Dig your paws in, Freya, so Rose doesn't pull you down.
Primordials are light.
Yeah, about to say, Rose doesn't feel very heavy as they're kind of pulling themselves out.
Keep forgetting about that thought.
Right, that was exciting. Let's head this other way, shall we?
Yes.
Various is sort of adjusting his grip on the medallion before slowly tucking it away.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall we check the other corridor that doesn't have a bunch of animate and other things? And lava? What makes a lava room completely unreasonable?
Liquid hot magma.
Magma. Right.
So, where are you guys going?
Rose is going to, start heading towards this direction.
Okay. And it's a bit of a curve in the hall. And as you kind of get to that point, it is not very well lit, so it's a little hard to see in front of you. More importantly, there doesn't seem to be any point of light up ahead. In fact, it looks rather dark.
Tiberius, would you mind sending your pet ahead to scout that darkness?
I told you once more, it's not my pet, it's my father's thing. Wriggles, off you go. Do as the nice fire person says.
And just kind of slurps along the ceiling, and it comes across what looks to be a doorway. Big stone door.
There's a large, closed stone portal ahead of us. Doesn't seem to be too dangerous. Do not ask why I can see what it sees. It is simply a trick of magic. And he's doing hand waves with magic.
Woo!
Right. Does it look like it can open?
It just looks like a big flat slab of stone. It looks like it could move, but you don't see any handles.
It may come as a shock to you. I didn't make doors.
Oh my god.
It looks like a door. I don't know if it can open. It is large and made of metal, or stone. If we had, I don't know, a coney in here, perhaps they could. Various.
I'm right here.
Oh, sorry, didn't see you. You have that whole thing where you can make Earth go, and he does like an opening with his hands, just poof.
Is it going to throw me across the hole?
Tiberius will slowly squint to the darkness and just, without even paying attention, go, "No, you'll be fine."
Various, I'll be behind you in case anything happens.
And I'll be over here in case something jumps out and tries to devour you both, and I'll save you as I always have.
Is he telling the truth?
That's a good question, is he?
Will he though?
Save
No.
Darius? Yes.
Is he? He said, no, it's fine.
I mean, as far as his knowledge is, yeah.
I mean, there is some deception in there, so I might as well roll it. Oh, he's half telling the truth. He's still
Darius is catching on to your tricks.
Dun, dun, dun.
If I get tossed across the room again, I'm having your ears.
Ooh.
You'll be fine.
Unless you kind of come up to this door, it is incredibly dark here, and you kind of put your paws against it. It is very cold. It is a cold stone door. Give it a knock, gently nudge it. It's solid.
He's gonna plant his paws to either side on it.
Okay.
Luminosa, we should probably catch up.
It's Flex.
I like that. It's like, who knows if you catch up? It's what? Excuse you.
Still in the Feywild.
Roll 20. I swear to God, thank you. It finally loaded for me.
Yeah, but it's okay. I don't have my
So-
name, so it's all right.
Darius, as you gently push your paws onto the door and begin to... Yeah, are you pushing or pulling, I would like to ask?
They're pushing and then using mold earth to try and part it.
So I would like to describe it. Is there any particular shape you're making, or...
Just an opening.
You kind of push the stone itself, and it does give way. It pushes forward along with you. It does take a bit of a curve with it, as well as the magic, but eventually you are able to push at least a rather lifelike carving of yourself out to the other side. There is now a very shaped hole in the door.
Is there anything that I can see on the other side?
Yes, indeed. It is relatively dark in here. There are no candles that are lit, but you can at least see the cold stone floor. More importantly, though, as you get a better look around and kind of squint your eyes, there are claw marks in the floor. Deep, rigid claw marks.
Vulper was here.
Oh no!
No, Belua.
I would say these were big. They definitely look bigger than Belua.
Oh dear.
Darius
what?
is just backing away.
Everything all right, Various? What's in there?
I cannot see, except for very large claw mark upon the floor and the
Wriggle.
walls.
Dear, Various has lost his nerve and most of his fur, and didn't get thrown across the room, so my ears are fine. In you go!
My fur is fine.
You'd be shaking out of it right now.
I don't see you taking the front.
That's why I have wriggles, and that's when they're through the wall.
So, Wiggles. How
Wiggles.
stealthy is Wiggles being?
No stealth. No stealth.
No stealth.
He's not a stealthy creature.
It's slurping and splurping all over the room.
So not being stealthy at all. Not one bit.
No.
Okay. For some reason,
Tiberius doesn't have care for his creations like Various does.
Oh, as quick BRB, okay.
Also, he's not connected. He won't feel any of the pain when they die.
Wiggles. What is its perception, by the way? And does it have dark vision?
It has a dark vision, perception wisdom score of a -1, I think.
Oh, it's close enough. But as Wiggles stares into the darkness, a form starts to appear. It is massive, taking up a vast majority of this room. It is long, it is serpentine, and its eyes are open and staring at you.
Close the door! Close the door now, Various! Now close the door! There's a serpent in there! Close the bloody door!
I'm over here with you.
Well, go and close the bloody door!
There's a various shaped hole in that door.
Wriggles, this is your job. Keep that thing occupied until Various closes the door!
There goes another molder. And just gonna...
Your vision blots out Tiberius as the last thing you see in Wiggles' vision as this thing lunges forward and just nom.
Let's have a silent moment for Wriggles.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
What?
And
Yep.
Various, being on that side of the door, you could just hear sickening crunches on the other side, considering Wiggles had absorbed several bones.
I brought it a snack. It likes me now.
I'm gonna take it. We're not gonna be bothering with that.
No! You couldn't pay me enough money. I have a lot of money. You couldn't pay me enough to go in there. Giant serpent, no. Up the stairs then it is. Bloody wind. Why?
And you make fun of me for being scared of Varga.
Did you not? You didn't see the size of that thing. No. You remember that strange giant lizard that breathed death in that other place? He's doing like little hand motions of open close with his
Nami nom motion?
in the fire palace. You remember that thing?
Dragon.
Yes.
Yes, that thing. It looked like one of those, except bigger.
You were scared of... Oh, I forget his name. Oh no.
I was not scared of your little pet serpent. It was a serpent, therefore it was always telling lies. That's how serpents work.
Then why did you jump when it hissed?
Because they spit venom and poison, and sometimes small other serpents.
And more lies.
And usually lies.
Lies. Welcome back, Az. yeah.
So now Az knows that Tiberius has a fear of serpents.
Oh.
It's not a fear of serpents. It is a proper instinctual reflex. Thank you.
Being scared.
Oh, well, now I know.
But knowing is power.
Yeah, what's the battle?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I came back after that conversation, so no, I didn't.
Well, Tiberius was right there, icily.
Yes, good to know.
Let's proceed up the stairs. We know that there's a bunch of skeletons below. There's a serpent behind a door. Why is this all here? What was this court jester doing?
That's a good question.
Quick, up the stairs!
God damn it, Flix now.
Rose is going to put a hand out to stop Flix. About these webs, what would be the best way to deal with them?
Is there a door?
There's no door. You don't see any webs, but Tiberius sees them.
Just Watch out, there are webs. I'll tell you where to duck.
Can't you just make it go away?
It's taxing. And he's going to just look over at Freyas.
I stepped away again. I'm sorry.
He just said it's taxing to continually dispel magic.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
There's
like
no
quitter
reaction.
talk.
She's just
Fine,
staring.
Tiberius will go forward and dispel the next webs he sees, just because Flix asked him to.
Maybe there was a part under there somewhere.
He's making me use all my low-level spell things. I need for some of those when I need to make fun of Various.
Wow.
I mean, if someone asked properly,
Make him use all his slots so he can't dispel magic. And then I'll get him with the lightning bolt.
And then I'll get him with a lightning bolt.
stone skin.
So, you gonna use the spell magic, or are you gonna try something else?
No, he's going to dispel the magic. It's a simple, straightforward, and effective solution. All Tiberius.
And pain
Oddly
is-
enough, as you cast a spell magic on this particular set of webs, they actually shimmer brighter.
Oh
And
dear.
to a point where they actually start to illuminate the hall. You actually see a small room ahead of you.
Is that supposed to happen?
Yes, it is. These webs
And-
did not seem to be dangerous, so I illuminated them. That's all.
In fact, they're kind of strung along the walls, along the ceiling, almost like, you know those lights that people
Pretty
dangle
barge
like during...
lights.
Pretty barge lights!
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Love it.
What you can gather from this, Tiberius, is that these ones probably just react to magic.
Yes, so it was totally on purpose, and that's what he's going with. Don't
Aha.
question. Ah. Off you go, Flix and Rose. Freyas, Varius, and I will stay in the back where it's perfectly dangerous.
And since it's well lit now because of the magical webs, you come up the stairs to what looks to be some sort of planning room. I didn't have any props, sorry, but there is a large table in the center, a wooden table that is covered in books, drawing material, blueprints that are scribbled on. There are billboards here and here with different plans and the like drawn in white pen on a sort of a black paper. There's also two large, what looks to be ornate coffers on each side of the table.
Looks like some kind of workroom.
Also, along the back walls here are various sets of smids and alchemy and embalming tools.
Rose is going to go over to where those like notes were sitting.
There's three different spots. There's the large table in the center and two like whiteboard style structures on each side of the walls.
Okay, go over to the large table then.
And on the table there are large sets of writing equipment. These look like they're meant for creatures that are probably a little bit bigger than you are, as well as a bit more cumbersome. The actual like plans themselves have various different creatures and the like written on them. What languages do you know?
Rose languages?
And what languages do you know?
I think just primordial and common.
So you can't quite discern what these writings are, but you can see serpentine figures on some of the blueprints, as well as more humanoid and also rabbit-looking ones. Flix, what are you looking at?
The other box.
Are you gonna try to open it?
Sure.
You can read all writing. Alright. Well, let's go to Flix first, because as he kind of opens the box, it is full of, like, paper and pens, cups with pens inside of it, all sorts of binding material meant for note-taking.
You found the nerd box.
Nerd box!
You found the nerd box, yes. There's also a pouch inside of it,
Oh, what's
kind
the
of tucked
pouch?
away in the corner.
Free pouch.
And I'll open it.
Strangely enough, you have found 5 blue chips.
Woohoo! That's my collection.
Yeah, you found blue chips, strangely.
Mm.
Huh. What'd you find, Rose?
There's a bunch of almost like crude figurine drawings, various creatures. I can't tell what this writing is at all. I don't recognize it. Frias.
Freya's still back there with Various. Tibbs is
Oh.
still in the sort of front room.
I can take a look and see if I recognize the writing.
Sure. So what languages do you know, Flex?
At this point, I would know. Common, Primordial, and Sylvan.
You don't recognize these writings either.
Huh. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Are you looking into the chest?
Yeah, I'll look into the chest and see what's in it.
This chest, on the other hand, there seems to be what looks to be folded clothing. Not just any clothing, it seems to be woven with different chain.
Oh. What kind of chain?
I would say it's almost a glimmering blue in color. Just that faint blue color. It seems sturdy, it seems very well kept and neatly folded. But more importantly, as you pull the chain shirt out, something falls out of it. It looks to be a crooked, gnarled dagger.
Oh. Oh my.
It has a gem born in the hilt that kind of is a dull reddish color. The blade itself is kind of wiggly and jagged. Something similar to what you might use for sacrificing.
Oh no.
Oh.
Does it look like there's any blood or anything on the chain itself?
Not
Or
on the
like
chain. No.
Holes or broken links?
No.
So the chain it's pristine.
Yeah, it's going to be listing as an unidentified chain shirt as well as a sacrificial dagger.
While this is going on, Rose will go back to stairs. Frias, it's safe up here, but I could use some other eyes up here. Then there's some information I can't discern here.
And Tibbs, I saw that you used your Eldritch Invocation. Did you want to use on the blueprint?
Yeah, you just can look at it. Of course, Tiberius doesn't share information, so...
Okay, well, since you can discern the writing, you can at least gather from whatever script this is. Someone was doing transmutation, not with objects, but with living creatures.
You.
Huh.
Jerks.
Many of these blueprints detail taking parts and pieces from, as it says, creatures from the multiverse and stitching them together.
Ah.
They're ready to kill this magician.
Right.
He might be a bad dude.
Yeah, Tiberius is just go and keep going.
It's like, that's a thing.
That sounds like something Lopolitians would do if they were given enough bodies.
Mm-hmm. Various and Frias, do you want to look over as well?
Sure.
So what are the languages the both of you know?
Common, Infernal, Druidic, and Abyssal. And Primordial.
Okay, and you, Various?
Oh, well,
Okay.
I apparently can just link that.
Yeah, you
I was trying to expand it, but okay.
Various, you kind of look over, you can't make heads or tails of it, but Frias, you recognize the text. And you're kind of sitting there staring and before realizing this is written in Infernal. And you see the exact same stuff as Tiberius was able to read. Someone was practicing very, very taboo transmutation magic and stitching things together.
Yeah,
So-
jeez. Wonder if the handwriting looks familiar, Freus.
Oh my god, was it Frias?
The handwriting is not familiar, no, but you do recognize the language.
If no one has shared the information, stairs, she will relay to everyone in the gist of what it says.
Frias the whole time.
And now the sacrificial dagger's starting to make a little bit more sense there, Flex.
I found a chain shirt and a sacrificial dagger.
A chain shirt, really? In here?
Yes.
And reading over the things, the blueprints for this, there is definitely sacrifice involved in a lot of these blueprints.
Can I see those items for a moment, Flix?
Yep, and I'll sort of drop them into Rose's hands.
First of all, the sacrificial dagger. Is there anything arcane that stands out about it?
Not necessarily arcane, but you notice that there is a channel kind of along the blade itself that is meant for blood to flow through. But not flow out of the dagger. You can tell it's meant to flow into the hilt. And kind of looking at the hilt, it's your typical sort of sacrificial dagger where it will store blood and kind of put it into a chamber that is the hilt. The gem seems to act more as like a gauge of how much blood is in it. There is currently no blood in the hilt.
And then the chain shirt?
There is a tinge of magic on it, but you don't know exactly what. Not without a spell.
Rose is going to hold their other hand and concentrate on the chain shirt as they cast Identify.
Hi. Okay. So this particular chain shirt has been infused with blood magic. It's a homebrew item. It's something I've created. This is known as a painted mithril chain shirt. It gives +2 AC when worn, but it lowers your maximum health by 5 points. So it's both cursed and also a magic item.
Okay. First things first, this item is technically cursed. So I would not just go on putting this willy-nilly. But it does seem to be more protective, but it also lowers the amount of life force that the wearer will have.
So it's a shirt that makes you stronger but also makes you weaker?
Yep.
More resilient, but yeah, that's one way of putting it.
That's terrible.
It's a cursed item.
Let's just put this for safekeeping right now.
Okay. Good idea.
Also, and we'll look over to Frias as Frias has been relaying the information that she discerned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to understand why this court magician went out of sight.
Yes, but did this individual have the power to kill? What was it called again? An archfey?
Archfey. I mean, maybe he made the power by stitching stuff together.
Also, Flex, looking through the chest, kind of seeing if there's anything left inside there looks to be a letter with a wax seal.
A letter with a seal?
Mm-hmm. A wax seal.
Oh, what's the emblem on the wax seal?
You recognize this wax seal, this particular emblem. This is not an emblem that should be in the Feywild. That's a guild emblem.
I'm gonna open it.
All right.
Just so we can read it.
And as you open it, it seems to be a coded letter from someone that, at the very bottom that simply has the initial of E.
What do you have there, Flix?
I have a letter from a guild member. It looks like it's written in code, but it was signed with an E.
Show it.
And I'll show it to him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly what it is. You can't read the code itself. It seems to be some sort of cipher. But the signature at the end, yep, that's an E.
Yeah. That guy again.
Of course, he'd have his fingers stuck in this.
Everything's quite obvious.
At this point, I'm not surprised by anything anymore.
Does it say who the letter is to?
Someone named Damien.
Sorry, what was the name?
Damien.
Damien.
Damien, okay.
You kind of sit there and you stew on that for a little bit, Flex. And then you realize that's the name of the court magician. That's their name.
Crap.
What is it?
The letter is to the court magician, which means the guild had their hands in Wonderland as well. Which means they might have orchestrated the whole end of lifing.
So is there
Or at least whatever the court magician's doing.
So-
Sacrificing.
Prius, what are you exactly trying to look for in the blueprints? Are you looking for the method? Are you looking for what was used? What kind of thing are you looking for? These are pretty detailed.
Honestly, she's just looking at the process and if there's specific parts and not seriously looking for information off of them, just absorbing the information as if
So,
future information.
just give me a 1d20 real quick.
Oh no.
I just want to see something.
Keyboard, come on. Really?
Womp,
Nah.
womp.
This seems pretty standard transmutation, making horrible amalgamations with different body parts. Yeah, it seems normal. That checks out. Totally checks out. This is basic necromancy and transmutation. Sure, it's fine.
It's guild fuckery. Stupid guild.
Wait for me.
I guess we're gonna start going towards like
There's only 2 places to possibly go.
Well, obviously, we gotta go see the serpent, right?
No,
Right, guys? Right?
You want to go touch the amalgamated serpent monster?
No, we have to go the way with
Flex.
the comfy room.
Flex just went through the wall.
Flex just phases through the wall. Nope, 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 nope.
bye guys.
Later, no clips.
Slash no clip.
I guess that leaves the topsy-turvy room as our main lead right now.
Back to topsy-turvy room.
Back to the washing machine room.
Washing machine room.
Probably best this way. I'd prefer not to endanger
There's
ourselves.
a staircase that's right here.
You seem quite fine with endangering us.
I suppose you didn't let me finish the sentence, Varys. Endangering myself.
It's an easy to hop into the room since the doorway's on the ceiling. Just hop down. It's only about a 6-foot drop. It's not too bad.
Maybe I should get in contact with Mormo again.
Rose will step down and then, if necessary, will also help Tiberius and Various down.
No, you will not.
The skeleton is still just sitting, but on the ceiling now. Just
Should
chilling.
I throw them again?
Just
Tiberius will
chilling.
smugly hop down and avoid Rose's catch.
Oh
I don't
That
need
sounds
your-
like an athletics. No.
no,
God.
no! It's a very short drop. It's not that bad.
I don't
Yeah.
need your assistance for a small hop like this, Rose, but I thank you for your worry.
So Flex,
What are you looking for? Is kindness.
So as you
What
get
does
to
that even mean?
As you get to that place, Flix, you notice that this doorway, this kind of little area, is a little warmer than the rest of the crypt. The heat
Which
seems to
doorway?
be
The
coming
one in
from
front
the
of me?
stairwell.
Alright.
Oh, Frias is pretty. Excuse you.
Alright, I think...
Petty, not pretty.
Bet. Fight me on that.
Alright,
What?
if it's what I think it is down here, I think Frias and I should take point. We should be able to handle whatever heat's down here.
An excellent idea. Frias, take Flix's spot.
I mean, I don't know if it would overly hurt me.
Do you want to
It's
find
just
out?
toasty, but it
Yeah, it
doesn't
might
really
be
hurt.
uncomfortable, but other than that,
Again, do you wish to find out?
well, no, but still.
Then let Frias go first. Why would you question putting another person in danger other than yourself?
Because I'm the one that's supposed to protect you!
You are protecting me. Frias is going
You,
ahead.
all of you!
We're switching places. You get to hold the bag to make sure no one sneaks up on us.
Fine, I'll hold the rabbits.
Wait, what? No.
Grand
No.
idea.
I'm just-
I picked you both
He's gonna
up.
say scoop him in both arms.
Unhand us!
Never!
2 potato
There's gonna
sacks,
be
the true
some-
farmer way.
Some
Bunny
wild
kick.
kicking. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's gonna be bunny kicks.
Funny kick. Thup, 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 thup.
Unspeakable violence.
Unspeakable violence. We will commit self-defense.
Thumping of love!
No!
Oh.
I'm
Hold
just
on.
imagining, like, Flix
Relinking this.
just one arm around one, the other, and just tight, almost
Mhm.
like as
Yep.
tight as possible, as they're just like, I can't breathe. Ah!
Kicky feet and everything.
Don't worry,
Mhm.
guys. You're little troopers. We'll get through this.
Unspeakable violence. Yeah, do you guys start to head down the stairs?
Yep, that's a plan.
Alright. Let me take you over to the next map. As you guys begin, let me rearrange you guys.
God. Oh, top
As
left.
you head down the stairwell, you realize that the walls become less like a catacomb and more like polished stone. Something that would be more fit for, say, a laboratory or a living quarters rather than a place to keep the dead. It's warm down here. It's a little on the toasty side. For most normal people, they would probably be sweating a little bit with how hot and not only that, but stuffy it is. It's a little on the bright side. You can kind of see along the lower floor area. There's little gaps between the wall and the floor where you can kind of see a soft glowing orange glow. And the bubbling of lava is all around you.
No.
Is it supposed to be black?
No, head up to the top left hand.
Okay, there we go.
There you are.
I'm like, is it just pure darkness? Oh no.
Did Flix put us down yet?
When we get to the bottom, yes.
Because you've already died once, we'll consider it even. Don't do that again.
There seems to be a
I'm
small stairway leading up to another room.
Don't get your ears in a twist. I'm protecting you. We didn't know what was down here or what could have been down here. It could have just been lava.
Frias?
And you're both very flammable.
This is looking a lot more constructed so far. Or better put together than it was upstairs. I'm not liking this.
It was a lot better than having something crawling out of the walls.
You guys,
Why would you say that?
There's a little set of stairs leading upwards into another room. And as you head up the stairs, a rather large room actually presents itself in front of you. And you get a chance to reveal the room in full.
Ah, yes, a boss room. Oh no, why did I say this before it was revealed?
As you step into the room, it is a rather well-lit room. Seems to be a brazier in the very center of it, holding what looks to be a sort of orb that seems to just be simply floating right above the brazier. There is a large lever in front of said brazier, and some books on the floor. There's a couple bones strewn here and there throughout the entire room, which seems to be rather smooth in the way its walls are presented. There is a doorway, however, on the southern side of the room, but it looks to be taking up the entirety of the space. But more importantly, there seems to be some sort of clock above the door. It reads 60 to 1. It is currently glowing with bright orange, kind of bright white letters.
You wouldn't mind if I went over and took a peek at the literature, would you?
No, that's fine.
Books.
There's like 2 or 3 books piled on the ground. They seem to be more haphazardly set down. That several of them seem to, from the first one you pick up, looks more like a physics journal, something that probably someone would read about magical physics. The second book itself is a journal. This journal, Trius, is familiar to you.
Oh no.
This is one of your journals.
Prius, how could you?
In
And
fact,
the
it
third-
looks almost peculiar like the one that you lost some time ago in water.
But would I remember
You
it
do.
now? Oh, joy.
Yeah, the false Hydra is gone now.
You remember this book.
And the third book?
The third book, as you kind of pick it up, looks to be like an old kind of spell book. You kind of flip through it and realize that there are several loose scrolls and different spells kind of held within the bind. It's a wizard's book. It seems to specialize a lot in necromancy.
Freya's is just looking between the books, hiding her journal between the two, and being like, and going to looking over at Rose, being like, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the room, but I guess they're here.
What do they say?
One seems to be more of a tome centered around, surprise, surprise, necromancy. Another one about physics, and then a journal.
Anything in the journal then? Maybe I'll have maybe there's something that this magician wrote in there.
She doesn't even open it or look at it. She literally just straight up tells you, just seems to be a personal journal of someone's.
Oh, is it a personal journal of the magician? Or who, like, is there any sort of name and signature on it?
She'll sigh and bring it to the top, flip through it a little. She is not pointing it in your direction. She is keeping it pointed towards herself.
Strangely enough, Freya's, these pages look untouched. Burns, no charring, no glitching out.
After about, say, 8 to 10 pages, she just starts skipping a large number of pages, and no, I don't see a name. Just seems to be a journal.
Maybe you would care to tell what the journal contains, like what kind of writings?
Oh, Fruce, what is in it? Tell us.
Well, if it's the quote-unquote oldest one as she got here, a lot of it is stuff from, which luckily helps for the cover, pretty much basic creatures from around the normal areas, like reptiles, mammals, etc., etc. So it just sounds like hopefully something that necromancy book would be tied to.
Potentially. Like different schematics of animals, their makeups, their abilities, strengths, what they taste like.
Probably not that part.
Probably wouldn't mention that one. However, Freya, as you're looking through the journal, you realize that there's your writing. That's not your handwriting. Someone else was using the journal and writing notes, scribbling over notes that you've taken or making observations of their own.
How dare they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. They defaced your property. Priestess.
So is Various and Flix gonna catch up as everyone's heading into the room?
Yes.
You all kind of come in seeing the exact same thing. A room with very smooth walls with a unlit brazier in the center with some sort of orb kind of listlessly floating above it. There's a large lever in front of it, as well as a door on the other side. A few bones scatter the room, and there's a clock counting from 60 to 1 above the door.
Is it actively counting?
No.
Oh, okay. Because if it was actively counting, that'd be a whole different situation.
No. But this seems to be... This is all there is to the room.
Various. I doubt these books have too much to do with what's going on with the room. Would you care to look at any of them?
Of course.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't ask me. I would have immediately said no.
Freya's will give the arcane physics and the old spell book, but she will keep her journal and start looking through the new additional notes.
So, Various.
Uh-oh.
As you take hold of this arcane physics book, you realize something as you turn to the inside cover. You know, when you were learning about magic, you had textbooks in there. And to make sure that people knew that it belonged to you, you would write your name on the inside of the cover. Your name is on the inside of this cover. It is written in Gardanian.
Frius? Why is this here?
Oh, that's a book.
It was just on the ground next to the brazier. I could not tell you.
He's
Didn't
gonna
even look
look in
like
the
it was
old
set up.
spell book.
This is a bizarre looking spell book. You recognize these pages. Various. The first few spells are familiar to you, but everything after that is in someone else's handwriting. Would you like to roll me a random 1d20?
Oh boy.
Or an intelligence check, whichever you prefer.
Intelligence check, please.
Alright, let's do that. Let me see.
Are you serious?
Books are now our new enemy.
Uh,
Throw them in the brazier.
No, please.
because this
Burn
is
all
important.
knowledge.
Because this is important
Knowledge.
to you. Roll again as if it were advantage, please. This is important for you. Okay, that's more like
Oh, that's much better.
That's much better, but what the heck is going on?
Darius, your first glance through it, you're kind of sitting there incredulously, like, this is mine. What is it doing here? This is the book I was learning spells in. Who in the world wrote, or who stole my book? And you gather yourself for a few seconds and go back to the start of where someone else was writing it. And
no.
your stomach drops. This is your sister's handwriting.
Oh no!
He's going to slowly shut the book. Slowly stack one book on the other. And slowly march his way back over. And just stand there, quietly.
Aww.
Being all right, Various. You went quiet all of a sudden. Was it something disturbing in the book?
Wow, Tiberius.
Some kind of fairy tale that doesn't end proper?
Wow, Tiberius! Darius, are you okay?
That's what I was asking.
You're bad at it, though!
When you be good at asking if someone's all right, they're always going to say yes, even when they're not.
He's going to stay quiet and just stare ahead.
I'm going to walk over and I'm going to hug him. And I don't know when I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to glare at Tiberius for being a bad friend.
Oh,
What? I asked if he was all right. I don't understand why you're so upset.
No, you insulted him the entire time while asking if he was all right. You're being a terrible bunny brother.
I'm not his brother.
You are. Here, you're his brother.
No.
You're his bunny brother. And I'm your papa.
I think I just threw up in my mouth a little.
Okay, Rose is
I mean,
going
it can't
to
be
go.
worse than your real papa.
Rose is going to pick up the other book that hasn't probably been leafed through yet, the Necromancer's Tome.
that's what Darius looked through.
Oh, that was okay. My mistake.
Oh, that's not good. That's
That was
awful.
That's what Darius looked through.
In that case, the Arcane Physics one then.
That's also in Darius's possession.
Oh! Wow, I'm terrible listening tonight.
It's okay.
In that case, Rose is going to try to investigate the lever and the brazier then.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Rose is just going to try to kind of looks incredulously at this lever and is trying to kind of piece together why would this lever be in front of his brazier.
From what you can see, the brazier seems to be unlit. There's nothing inside of it. It's like just an empty brass brazier. No kindling, no ashes or anything. The orb that's floating above it kind of is inert. It's kind of a dull blue translucent ball that's just kind of hovering there, bobbing as if it's bobbing on invisible water. The lever is what it looks like. It is pulled to one side with no markings, no indicators, nothing.
Alright, and then it's also going to go ahead and take a look at the bones. Do they look like the wood rush that recognize what kind of creature they're from?
I gotta impress it.
What was that?
Hold on.
Okay.
There we go. As for the bones, it looks like just a gathering of what looks to be chewed on femurs. Yeah, chewed on. Some are broken, some have obvious teeth marks.
Oh, chew marks. Right.
Yep.
And would that be the same for the bones over here?
Yep, same thing.
And then we'll also go ahead and take a close look at this door, and then also the clock you mentioned that's above it.
The door seems solid. There are no handles, there are no turning or hinge mechanisms, but it's obviously that there are lines where it connects to the outside wall. But the clock on the wall, there's no hands or anything. It's just 60, 59, etc., all in a clockwise circle. They're all lit at the moment with a soft white color.
Alright. Well, so far the only thing I'm seeing of note in here is this orb above this brazier as well as this lever then. So unless anyone has any other better ideas, we could try to lever out and see what that does.
You want to pull the lever. There is a door on the other side of this room that we could go through, but you want to pull the lever that has a glowing magical orb above it.
I mean, I would be happy to go through the door if there was any discernible way to open it.
Various. Would you mind doing your trick again, your Conian magic? God damn it.
Aww. Darius is going to slowly walk forward.
Darius, as you get a little bit closer to the door, I need you to make a perception, please. As you get a little bit closer, since you're getting rather intimate up there with the door, since you cast your spell, you put your hands on the door. Something feels wrong. This doesn't feel like porous stone or anything that's hard like that. It's
bone.
It's
totally bone.
Yep. You start to feel it, put your hands along it, and it's too smooth. It is not metal, but you have a sinking pit in your stomach that this might be bone. In fact, it looks almost uncannily like the rest of the walls.
He's not going to say anything. He's just going to step back, ready a spell, and unleash it at the door.
Alright, which spell? I just see this crackling bolt of lightning slam into the door. Nothing happens. A small char mark. You see a small char mark appear, but as you sit there and stare at it, something happens as the char mark slowly starts to whittle away as if the door is healing itself.
That's not how you open doors.
Ferris, that's not that spell, that's lightning. The one where you open the doors made of stone, that's the spell I was hinting. Do you need me to point it out to you in plain Gardanian?
He's going to now summon Bellowa.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I can't put Bellowa on the map.
I can. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let me get your boy. Where are you, Belua? Where are you? There you
Belia, it's me, your
Yeah.
boy.
Here, Belua. And let me make him.
So,
Big boy.
Could you imagine
There we
Belua getting around a corner like a golden retriever coming for a ball, just
Just across the floor.
I'm looking up the video.
And
Look up-
yeah, Tibbs, you see Belua? There's Belua. There he is.
Okay, I'm very confused. Are you that upset about my ribbing of you?
Good terminology there, Tibbs. It'll hit. It leaves an indent, but Belua.
Oh.
Tiberius is just gonna put a
Funny
put a hand
enough,
on-
that still hit.
He
Funny enough,
works
well, here's the thing.
anger.
That still hits. It still hits. But as he leaves these long, gashing grooves in the door, just one after another, Belua pulls back. Did he break through? No, it starts to fill back in
This is
with
fine.
this sickening, crackling sound.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is there a knob?
Nope.
Okay.
It's like a
there a-
smooth surface.
Is there a handle?
Nope.
There's just a seam,
Can
I
I
think.
try pushing it? Maybe it's a push.
To push
You used to
motion.
playing my games. You dum-dums. Don't do anything with the door. You immediately think it's trapped, and you try everything other than just opening the bloody thing.
I've done that before. I've had a puzzle like that before, but no, this is a different type of puzzle.
In one of my games, they summoned an eldritch being from across time and space through a rift in reality to open the door, and all that happened was this unholy tentacle came through the rift, lurched forward, wrapped itself around the doorknob, twisted, and then opened the door for them.
I love that. I love that so much.
That happened. We were stupid.
But no, Velia is sitting there staring at the door as it seems to heal itself.
I'm guessing this switch will have some sort of effect on the door.
One can hope, because so
the
far this
switch.
thing's not budging.
Phrase is literally standing in front of a switch.
Oh,
Or the lever.
okay.
Well, pull the lever, Freyas.
Phrase is pulling the lever.
The lever has very little resistance. You kind of pull it to one side and hear a kerchunk. The room vibrates and you hear a loud kerchunk behind you.
No.
Oh.
The lever immediately springs back into its main position and the clock stops. It starts counting down. 60, 59.
Tiberius isn't even going to look behind him. The door behind us just closed. That's wonderful. Now we can find a way out of this room.
58, 57. The lights are going by per second as each number dim.
Does the orb look different?
54, 53, 52.
Does the
room-
orb look different?
No, it does not. 51, 50, 49. The orb suddenly starts to glow brighter as the lights in the room begin to dim.
Oh boy.
All right,
48.
I have a plan. It involves me teleporting to safety and trying to save you all. Are you all right with me
47.
disappearing?
46,
I could pull the lever again.
45, 44,
Go ahead.
43.
Pulls the lever.
The orb returns to its inert state and the room brightens. The clock returns all the numbers to 60, 59, 58,
Well, at least
Oh.
there's
57, 6. It continues its countdown.
Are you firing at the orb?
I'm guiding bolting the orb.
Okay. 54.
Okay.
53.
Two, shoot.
2.
Various, is there anything in their books in those books you have about this mechanism?
Was there any mention of it?
Nope. It hits 49, and once again, the orb begins to glow brighter and the room begins to dim.
Tiberius is going to cast Dimension Door and want to appear on the other side of the door.
Which door?
This one.
Considering you haven't been there and you don't know exactly where it is, you can try.
10 feet on the other side of this wall.
Okay, you can certainly try.
He will try.
56. Oh no, 46. 45. As you cast Dimension Door, it feels like it's starting to work, but you're immediately flung 5 feet in front of it instead.
Lovely. Just like the castle. Excellent.
40. The room begins to dim further and the numbers turn yellow. 39. 38. 37. 36.
Is there anything in those books, some kind of word that is a key phrase or anything?
35.
No. One is
4.
simply my textbook from school. And the other is a book of spells from school altered by someone
32.
else.
Hey, question. How tall is the orb in the center of the room? Like, how high is it?
It stands at about 5 feet. 30.
I want to poke it with a magic stick.
You try to poke it, but the orb, as it hits 30, suddenly turns yellow, the same color as the numbers, and the room continues to darken. The stick goes through it like it's made of energy. 29.
What did the guiding bolt do?
I didn't see you cast Guiding Bolt, so go ahead and cast it.
She did.
It did? God damn it, roll 20. Hold on, let me refresh.
Yeah, it's not scrolling.
Yeah,
Let me
I had to scroll down
refresh.
too.
Let me refresh because it wasn't appearing for me at all.
Yeah, because I guiding bolted the orb.
There we go, okay. The Guiding Bolt goes through it and hits the other wall.
No, but did you say when it hit 30 that the orb and the numbers on the wall match the same color?
Yeah, yellow. And
Okay.
the room is darkening to a point where it's getting really hard to see, except for the orb and the numbers.
Brius, can you push that lever again?
28. 27.
Sighs and
6.
flicks the switch again.
The room once again lights up. The orb becomes inert, and the numbers return to 60. The countdown begins again.
Okay. Brius,
59.
crazy idea. When it hits 30, I want you to hit the switch exactly when it does that again.
While I'm waiting for it to count down, can you at least look at the bones, see if they have any markings when the lights go low?
Okay.
They are the same chewed up bones. 46. As it hits the 40s, once again, the numbers turn yellow. The orb begins to glow, and the room begins to darken. 45. 4.
Do the bones
43.
look any different as the room darkens?
Nope. Still look
And
like chewed up femurs.
And the moment it hits 30, she's going to do as Rose says and flicks the switch.
And it hits 30. The orb turns yellow. You flick the switch. The room brightens up again. The orb returns to its inert state. The numbers return to 60. The countdown begins again.
Well, Freya's will look through the one book she has real quick to see if there's anything about it.
Nothing. Nothing about numbers or orbs. 56. 55. 54. 53. 52.
Alright. Right now, Rose is just going to wait to see what happens as it passes 30.
And it continues counting. It gets to 40. It turns yellow. Insight. What are you inciting, Davarius?
Insight is like the clue button, like the hint button.
11's not gonna cut it!
Yeah, 11's not gonna cut it.
No, you're sitting there, you're wondering, what is it counting down? What's going on? Why is it getting darker? What's happening? Why does it keep resetting whenever Frias flicks the lever? What do we do?
Can Rose do an insight to discern how the change might be related between the clock and the orb?
Sure.
Nope.
Nope. It hits 30. The orb turns yellow. The room is getting darker and darker as the numbers continue to count down. 29. 28. 7. 6. 25. The room is almost pitch black. You can only see the orb and the numbers. 24. 23. 22. 21. The moment it hits 20, the numbers suddenly red. You see the sort of gap between the wall and the floor begin to glow brighter as the room is pitch black, but you see almost heat emanating from the crevice below between the floor and the walls. The orb itself also starts glowing red. 19. 18.
Oh, Belua,
17.
can you grab, oh god, my brain. Can you grab Flix and your two Gardenian friends and get off the ground? I'm curious about something.
16.
What's gonna look is going to first grab up Tiberius by the back of the collar.
15.
And
The
then
ground
going
starts rumbling.
to wrap an arm around Flix And Varius is going to climb up onto his back and up off the ground.
14. 13. The room is now pitch black. You can only see the creases below that emanate a soft, warm light. 10. The numbers are now almost a pitch red in color, as now the orb has gone dark. The only thing you can see is the soft glow of rose, soft glow of flicks, and those numbers. 9, 8, 7, 6. You hear rumbling, stone grinding. The lights in the crease between the wall and the floor go dark. It is pitch black in the room. 5, 4, for the stone grinding, as if something is moving. 3, 2, 1. The clock goes dark. There's silence for a long moment. All before you hear 2 large slams. The lights in the room turn back on. Everything is bright again. The orb is inert, but the doorway is open now.
Oh, I was kind of hoping the floor would have flooded with lava.
You were hoping for lava to come up from the floor.
Bella lightly shakes Tiberius as if scolding him.
Does it feel any warmer in the room
No,
after that?
it's almost as if the room went right back to normal once the countdown was completed.
This seems like an awfully roundabout way just to open a door.
It's real good
If
security.
I were to fling an uneducated guess, I would consider that perhaps we are no longer where the room once was.
So what, some kind of elevator? A lift, perhaps?
Not an elevator, but perhaps transposition.
Well, hold on. We could check that out. Freya's will walk back to the way they came and take a quick peek down the hall.
Stairway is still there. The stairwell going up is still there.
As far as I can tell, no. This is definitely the way we have come. Unless they replaced it with the exact same thing.
And everyone is still the same person? No strange growths? No transmutation?
Looks like we're all still here.
Maybe he's just overly dramatic.
Freya, as you pass by the brazier, you notice that there's some writing along the underside of it.
Ooh.
In common, it is written, "Patience is a virtue."
Hey, I'm gonna kill this guy. Because, no. My patience is thin.
There's a very subtle difference between wishing for someone to give you patience and wishing for someone to teach you patience. Apparently, we asked to be taught patience.
No, I refuse to learn.
This is Flicks.
I'm gonna cut that man.
Freya's does not repeat what she had read, but she is just going to smile as she continues walking towards the rest of them. So, Rose and I take a again.
Yep, back in formation.
As you enter into this hallway, it is a very similar look to the rest of what you've seen so far. Smooth, white walls with a soft glowing that seems to emanate from a crease that is between the wall and the floor. It is getting a lot warmer down here, though.
Yeah.
And brighter.
Yeah, this, Frias, I hope you're not afraid of skinny dipping.
Excuse?
I was trying to lighten the mood. It's just, never mind.
Tiberius is just gonna be staring at the room with like the most like. It was a bloody well waste of time.
So it's gonna gently set Flicks down and look at Tiberius.
Tiberius is just still just shaking his head at the room.
Gonna look at Various, and Various will shake his head at Bellowa, and Bellowa will set Tiberius down.
Everyone just incinerate an entire room.
Yes.
Come on, everyone, we're leaving.
One moment, I'm still deciding whether or not I want to waste magic on this place.
Save
So-
it for who has made it.
Alright. As we begin to round the corner through this hallway, it widens up to an extraordinary amount. The architecture shifts into pillar-like structures and archways that are not unlike the reminiscence of a church. It's the same material that makes the walls up. But as you begin to head further on, you can see a large amount of glowing coming from this direction.
Well, that certainly is noticeable.
I believe you said you were going first.
Inside looks to be what looks to be a massive cathedral. There are two large sarcophagi that kind of flank the main entryway, as well as debris and cracked rubble all over the place. There are two braziers, massive braziers that are smoldering with embers that have long since burned out. There are two stairwells that lead to what looks to be sort of catwalks that lead toward the back end of the room, above what looks to be a pit of lava. But more importantly, there seems to be something in that lava. You can't quite see it from here, but you can see the shadows of something in the lava.
I don't like this.
So, Ali's gone to get the dog in.
I love Inkreed's comment, y'all got trolled. Not wrong.
Me opening and willing death because, it'll get the others through. Oh, that was the puzzle. Yeah, I totally meant that.
I mean, maybe yes.
It's Blarg from the hit game Super Mario World.
Oh, hi, Crocklemeyer.
What?
No, I've been waiting to use that puzzle on Weary Adventures for a long time. It's a classic. I forgot which module I snagged, but I've always loved wanting to use it.
Are we still
Brain
moving
shaped.
forward, or are we waiting for,
I think we're waiting for someone.
Yeah. That's why I kind of stopped moving. Friendship. So Kevin's in the lava.
Too many eyes to be Kevin.
Taco's Temple. Oh no.
Oh.
Taco's Tunnel Act 1, Scene 2.
So how's everyone feeling so far?
Look at me now, Father. I am God.
The scariest thing, religion.
A what?
A religion. Oh, geez, we way blew over the break time number.
Oh, shoot. Sorry. So do we want to go ahead and take our 15-minute break and come back at 7?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Or
But 7 is sort of closing time, too.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
So
that is true.
we're almost to the stopping point for this, so if we want to keep going till then,
Yeah, Ali's
we're
got
almost
down
to
in
the
next 3 seconds,
yeah, we're
so-
almost to the stopping point.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost to the point where I have it cut off. Almost there. Didn't take us much.
Ingrid, I like your thought there, but we need like a figurehead, something that's like fluffy.
We've got quite a few fluffy things in here, actually.
May I present to you?
Yeah, there we go. We got the fluffiest one right there.
The Church of Belua.
But that
The
thing,
Church of Rip and Tear.
The Church.
But that thing, it scares me.
Cult. The Belua cult. Yes. Waiting for someone to come back.
Alright, we're good. He's back.
Alright, we should be wrapping up here soon. We're getting to the stopping point. So
Perfect.
you are now entered into what looks to be a cathedral. There's a massive pit of lava kind of bubbling below these large stairwells. There does seem to be something in the lava, however.
Is there any movement that we can see in the lava?
You can't see from there.
Oh, of course. Going to ease up there, try to get a closer peek.
It says if you get to about here, you can actually see over kind of the railing. There's bones sticking out of the lava, some sort of hulking skeletal thing. The bones are blackened, charred. There seems to be a massive ribcage from some sort of gargantuan creature partially submerged within it. And there's the top of at least 1 to 2 large skulls that you can see. Seems to be a sword sticking out of one of them. It's not moving, simply in the lava. Tiberius, though, as you get closer, your eyes pick up on. There's a network of linked together magic chains coated over the skeletal corpse, holding it in the lava.
Something's being held here, probably through that experimentation that whomever this is did. Magical chains, if you will, around the body. I can try and dispel them, but more likely to piss whatever's in there off.
Let's not piss it off then.
Or it could allow it to be free to owe us something and perhaps leave us go without any kind of altercation. But more than
Suppose-
likely, stuff.
I suppose the important question is, why is it there?
Probably
What
to
is
guard
the
this.
purpose of this?
Various. It's God. It's a Vagra in front of a door. Do you see anyone with a sharp weapon or magic ready if you were to intrude upon this area?
Can you repeat that?
It's a god. It is a Vagra at the gate. It is a hound that has been trained in order to prevent anyone from entering. Do you see a god with a weapon? Do you see a wizard ready to cast a spell if you were to intrude upon this place? Whatever this thing is under this fire water is obviously some kind of god.
Why is it chained up?
It's not here it's not here of its own volition. Come on, it's probably just like a servitor. It's chained by magic, Darius.
Yeah.
Okay, I have probably a crazy idea here. If this thing is indeed a guard, then there's two passageways here. Perhaps I should go down one and Frias goes down the other. Then, in case, say, this thing or whatever splashes the lava out of there, then at least either of us will be prepared for it.
Bryce, how fireproof are you exactly?
A lot more than either of you two.
True.
Eh,
You're pretty flammable.
It was a lot better than my idea of just two parties going up. So yes, that's a little more cautious.
I do have one quick question. If the creature happens to grab one of you and drag you beneath the lava, should the rest of us just run across?
Well, I don't know about Rose, but it should take a few minutes for me to fully perish. So yeah.
Just
That's really dark. Frias?
if we trigger something, just be ready for things to get exciting in a hurry, alright?
This takes place behind Flicks, just in case there is that splashing of death.
The door
Do you
closes
need a
with lava.
countdown?
Looks across the room to Frias. On 3.
Hopefully we're not running through this.
No, but we'll just on my count we'll head down these stairs. Or are they going up or going
Up.
down?
They're going up. They're going up. Yeah.
Going up the stairs then.
Stupid keyboard.
Okay. 1, 2.
Wait, are you taking off on 3, or are you saying go and then moving?
Yes, and then you just see Freya start walking.
That's a very important question to know.
Heading along the catwalk, you realize that this kind of curves into what looks to be a much larger hallway in the back.
Anything happen on your end?
Nope.
No, nothing here.
Alright, I'll go back and bring them across. Ooh, maybe if only I go back, it'll be better.
Watch, there's just a plaque somewhere that says "Curiosity killed the cat."
Alright, I'll keep an eye out here.
Nothing's happening.
All right. Seems good on this side. Oh, jeez.
Like, here, boy, here, boy, here, boy.
Screeching to a halt on the stairs.
No, just hear the soft bubbling of the lava down below. Yes.
Wow, this side is safe, Tiberius. Yeah, right.
And there's a large hallway leading into another bend.
It totally was just, if we had messed with it, it would have come back and murdered us all.
Tiberius, as you wind into this hallway, no one else but you sees this to your eyes, but you see that there are lines that are softly glowing in a web-like pattern along the walls. These seem a lot stronger than the last ones. More so, they seem to etch downward past the railing down into the lava below.
I'll deal with this later. We've made it across, and we might have to cross this thing once more, but I plan on doing something benevolent. Right, so, shall we continue then? Nothing horrible has come out of the terrible lava. Nothing has tried to eat us, and it seems as though simply walking through here is the best course of action.
Along through the hallway, there seems to be a soft light emanating from what looks to be a door that is slightly ajar.
Oh. Finally. Vix, you might want to keep up with them.
Now the door is slightly ajar. It's a rather large door that's meant for a rather large creature to go through. But it seems to only just be slightly open. Either someone didn't fully close it, or...
May Freya's peek through the door.
You see a wall, but more importantly, Freya's is kind of peer through the door, kind of squinting. You see that there is, at least from where you're standing, a bed. There is something rather large slumped in said bed. It's not moving. More so, you see a rug that the door is kind of slightly caught on.
Freya's will turn around, hold one finger to her lips, points at one set of eyes, and then holds up one finger.
Rose silently nods back.
Then she will try to squeeze through the door into the room.
You can do that.
Wee.
It is a mildly lit room, but as you get in, you see that there is a rug. It's caked with something dark and red that's old and almost turning black at this point. More importantly, there is something on the bed. But the closer you get, the more you realize that whatever it is, it's been dead for a while. The only thing you see are just a heap of rotted skeletal remains. The rest of the room is pretty much in the same state that nothing's been touched in probably months, with a thin layer of dust coating the floor, and also what looks to be a stack upon stack of books and an old wooden. This seems to be the last room of this place. The mage's sort of room and quarters, but it seems the mage has been dead.
Well, Freya is going to make it easier on everyone. She's going to fix the rug and then open the door more.
And move the door out of the way.
Yeah.
The doors open. And as you all file into the room, you realize that the entire room has a musty scent of old, dried blood.
Ugh.
Ignoring that, going over to the books.
Still have my nice precipitation of smell goods around my neck.
Yes.
The books haven't been touched in a long. There's a thin layer of dust coating almost everything. Tiberius, as you enter the room, you see the lines along the walls all sort of correlate to what looks to be some sort of panel on the back of the room here.
Whoop. And what kind of panel is this?
It looks like something that you can probably pry open.
They're looking at books. Hand slowly goes up, grabs the panel,
Okay.
opens.
And it just kind of pops right up. Inside is a small compartment where all these lines are all kind of correlating onto, and it looks like a smooth blue crystal. It is currently socketed into something in the wall.
Wisdom save. And the hand goes up and takes the crystal.
As you uncork the crystal, kind of wrench it from its little socket, the lines along the wall all suddenly darken, like taking out some sort of power source. And you start hearing a rumble behind you as the entire ground shakes. And that is where we'll be ending the session for tonight.
Tiberius.
TPK. Oh.
Fine.
It's the opposite of fine.
No. This was meant to be.
And that is where we're ending the session outside the Foundry for tonight. What did you do, Ray? Thank you all for playing. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Don't like the necromancer bite.
Dang necromancers.
That was fun. Thank you all for watching.
Don't forget to check out the comic.
We'll see you next time.
You know, Nova, you're gonna